What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Show with another video. And today, the Switch 2 is here. It's finally here. I have a lot of thoughts about the Switch 2, and a lot of ones that I feel like are about other handheld devices. I think personally, handheld gaming is the future. Not necessarily the future, right? But I think it's going to be a big market in gaming because me personally, I bought an ROG Ally and I just haven't touched my PS5 in like months. It is not necessarily because there's no good game on the PS5 and the ROG Ally is the perfect device for everything. It's just more of the fact that, like, me personally, the games that I like to play, you know, anime based ones and a lot of JRPGs, they work great on a system like that. So, you know, if I could just kind of take that everywhere and just kind of, you know, go somewhere else and kind of plug and play, be able to play, basically use the whole system wherever I'm at. I really like the handheld market, you know, and that's a lot to that, right? Like the Switch 2 is coming out, or it's already out, and it looks cool. I don't think it's nothing like too crazy. Honestly, it snuck up on me. I didn't even know it was releasing this early. Like, obviously I knew the date it was releasing, but it wasn't really like a big thing for me because I never planned to get it on launch. Will I get it eventually? Probably eventually. Somewhere down the line, somewhere down the pipeline, I'll end up picking one up. But right now, I just don't think it's that important in a sense. I don't think it's really that necessary. While I do like a lot of Nintendo IPs, I just don't think it's heavy enough on the launch right now for it to even really do any good. I think obviously the Switch 2 is going to sell. Like, I think there was no point in which I thought the Switch 2 wasn't going to sell well. And it wasn't going to do well. I just know that I personally wasn't picking one up because I don't care about the launch titles. The launch titles are mostly games I either have on the ROG, my PlayStation 5, or I've been played and been done with those right now. It's like that's most of the games from my perspective. Like, don't get me wrong, like I like Mario. Mario's cool. I've never really been the biggest fan of Mario, but I think the Mario Kart is cool, you know. But realistically, I just don't think there's enough to really warrant me getting one right now. I think when we start getting into the IPs, or we start getting into like a new Pokemon, obviously. That's the thing, Pokemon is still gonna come out. It's just gonna come out for both systems, so you know I still have access to the original. Now, granted, it will play better on the Switch 2. I've been seeing a lot of different comparisons and stuff, and looking at the games for backwards compatibility, and it looks good. A lot of the games look good. Like, if you want to play your older Nintendo Switch games on this new hardware, it looks better, it runs better. It's probably the definitive way to play Switch games, in my opinion. But with that being said, for like the whole ecosystem of the Switch, it's a little bit weird because you got to think, you have the ROG, which is a handheld, but it's a Windows handheld, and that could be good and that could be bad. The reason I feel like it's good in certain instances, if there's a PC port, then there is a port for the ROG. Now, will it work completely 100%? You don't know. Now, granted, it is literally a PC that is in handheld form, so it's a little bit different from the Switch. You may get a port that's a PC port for a game, and there's no Switch port. Like, Switch ports have to be specifically made, you know, for Switch, and that could cause them to be way longer out the release. And I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's more of a, not trying to compare the two handhelds, but they definitely still have their place in different markets. So when the new Smash Brothers come out, and that game is gonna be on fire, and they got the new tournaments and stuff, and it's gonna be way more powerful, way more fluid, with more characters. Which, I mean, they said that they weren't making any more Smash games, but let's be honest, money talks, and they already have like 1,000 of the fighters and stuff. They already have a good back end to work from. There's no way they're not gonna make a new Smash game. Same with Zelda. We get like, not necessarily Breath of the Wild. I think they might move away from that series, or even if they don't move away from that series and they do make a third one, I don't know, it'll be a new Zelda game somewhere. We'll get a new Zelda game, we'll get a couple of new Pokemon games. There'll probably be this one that's going to be this new Legends game, and then the mainline game is going to come up, and hopefully the mainline game, and I say this every time one comes, but hopefully it won't feel as low budget, you know, with the Switch 2 being more powerful. You got that, you got Fire Emblem, which I'm really excited for. I think I played every Fire Emblem game on like Switch that's available, and it made me go back to some of the ones that were on like DS and such, and I think those were fire. So I definitely am looking forward to a new like Fire Emblem, a new Mario. It's a good game to play in pastimes, good family games that they come out with. Oh, and Xenoblade, they just came out with the Xenoblade X. I think the Xenoblade games are fire too. Like, and Nintendo really has some crazy intellectual properties. They really got like a good core fan base, because there's a lot of games that have different fan bases. You got the Xenoblade, you got the Fire Emblems, you got the Smash Bros, you got the Zelda, the Pokemon being like the most successful, I think it was the most successful internet franchise, entertainment franchise, I think, of all time. It's crazy. It's granted they're always gonna sell well, and it's such a unique thing in the sense that like now we're having those games specifically locked because to me they have competition, if not better than PlayStation when it comes to exclusives. It's really what you look for, but PlayStation 5 really isn't really doing any crazy exclusives right now that I know Switch 2 is gonna do. Like all the different like titles that Switch 2 can actually bring out, and PlayStation really isn't really doing a lot of that right now. And that was like a big thing between the console wars. So now you have a handheld system that's more powerful than the original predecessor. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be able to run more games at a better frame rate. It's gonna be a lot smoother. And a lot of times people get those systems like that to play a lot of the older games. Like I recently just got into the Batman Arkham series, and I feel like playing it on a Switch 2 could be a very fun experience. Because even though it is an older game, we know it's a great game, and I never really got a chance to play it. It isn't always about new games. It's not always about new games. It's about how you can enjoy games that you just haven't played. Even right now, I am completely going back and playing Mass Effect Collection on ROG, and I loved it on PlayStation. I thought it was amazing on PlayStation 4 when it was released, or 5. I can't remember which one it came out for. But I played it all the way through, beat every game. But playing on ROG, it's like it's a handheld experience. I can just kind of go anywhere and play it, and it looks amazing with the frame rate and everything else. So that's going to be a big plus for me. With that being said, guys, let me know if the Switch 2 is calling to you. I honestly think that I will pick it up eventually, but I don't think a lot of people right now are really kind of skeptical about it. I know a lot of people want to kind of boycott it because of the new standard for higher priced games that they'll probably set, and the issues with there's like some media issues on the system right now. I think they said like YouTube is messed up. It's gonna have bugs. It's gonna have bugs for sure. Like I said, a launch day model will not be the greatest, and obviously they've probably buffed security, so a lot of people are probably getting them right now so that they can actually like jailbreak them and stuff. Because the jailbroken Switch is probably like the best way to enjoy a Switch. Even though I think personally that like the original Switch in itself had such a legendary run that like you can go back and play a lot of those old games. Problem is Nintendo won't really drop their game prices. So that's a sticky situation, and that's a video for another day. We're not getting to that topic over here. But like I said, let me know, guys, if you're interested in picking up the Switch 2. I honestly completely forgot about it. I thought it was way farther into the future. I'm not ashamed to admit. I honestly had no clue that it was going to be coming out this soon and this fast, which is not bad. We have been talking about the Switch 2 for years and talking about how like it's going to be this new powerful handheld system, and I really want to get in there eventually and kind of test it out and see whether it holds up to something like the Steam Deck, which the Steam Deck is something I feel like is used for ease of access. It's basically like a PlayStation Network or Xbox Live and stuff on a handheld console. You got the ROG, which is a more powerful version of Steam Deck, but it is tricky to configure if you don't know really nothing about computers, because it's really just PC gaming. And then you got like this new Switch 2, which is like a console form in itself, but it has its own thing, its own ecosystem. And then we have the Xbox handheld coming out, so that's gonna be cool. With that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'll see you guys next video.